Hello guys, Nexel here. Welcome to the video. This will be the first video in the series which will be called Holy Paladin in M+, where we are going to go over every M+ dungeon in the game and to see how Holy Paladin fare in the situations presented, right? How our toolkit can impact the successfulness of our M+ runs. In this particular video, this video will be of introductory nature, so we will go over Season 2 Affix, we will go over understanding keystone levels and how they work and how we can approach to them, and we will be talking about the difference between Kyrian and Venthyr Holy Paladin. Without further ado, let's hop into Season 2 affixes. Okay, this is Wowhead article about Season 2 seasonal affix, which is called Tormented. There are 4 lieutenants across dungeon, and each one of them has their own debuff aura, which if they are left alive, they transfer that debuff aura onto a last boss, so when you encounter that last boss, they'll have all debuff aura of lieutenants left alive. First is Incinerator Archaeloth. Its debuff aura is Soul Forge Flames. Inflicts fire damage to all players every 3 seconds. His abilities are Scorched Blast, which is explosive rune under your feet, which explodes after 1.5 seconds. You want to move out of that. From what I've seen, it's always cast on ranged players, so you can choose it out of melee range of boss. Inferno is a cast which is AoE, nuke, burst, interrupt this, otherwise you are dead. Melt Soul is a debuff which Archaeloth applies on 2 of your party members, increases fire damage taken by 50%, and all of his damage is fire. You deal with this the same way you deal with Kultharok's spell, which is called Parasite something, I cannot remember. Never mind. You want to dispel this. Just keep track of your team's personals and dispel accordingly. Aura's Cold Heart, its aura is Chilling Presence. Reduces the movement speed of all players by 50%. Biting Cold is this circle around the bear, which deals constant damage over time. You want to tunnel your healing into that person, and anyone who enters the circle also suffers the dot damage over time. Cold Snap are swirlies on the ground. You want to avoid them, and Frost Lance is the reason why this debuff aura is so annoying. Frost Lance is this frontal that boss casts. It's knockback, nuke, frontal, just avoid that. The way we can deal with this is if we are in a dangerous position, we just want to use bubble. If our teammate is in dangerous position, we want to use Blessing on Freedom on them. Other than that, we have Sagadon the Breaker. Intimidation is debuff aura, which increases physical damage taken by all players by 50%. Crush goes on to tank. Seismic Wave is 60 yards AoE nuke, just heal through that. Massive Smash is what you see here. So, boss pulls all players within this swirly, and you're chained. You need to damage the chains to free you and just get out of this swirly. That's it, kill the boss. Varuth, his aura is Thanatophobia, reduces healing received by all players by 50%, which is just so annoying for us paladins because we already suck at healing. Severe and Carnage are the same spell. Severe always goes onto tank, deals high physical damage and leave bleeds. Carnage is the same spell. It goes on healer or DPS players, and also creates a circle around you, so boss charges you and leave damage and bleed, and also to all players within that circle. So you want to go away from that and just, you know, suffer the damage. Wave of Terror is fear, unless you are within 6 range of another player in your party. The way we deal with this, we want to use bubble on ourselves when we get targeted by Carnage. Just be careful not to use bubble before boss charges you, because it will cancel the charge and charge someone else. From what I experienced, I might be wrong, but just keep that in mind. For any other player, just use Blessing of Protection, and I leave Sack for the last if someone needs help. I also use Wings here because I want this dude to die very fast. Animal powers. Sagadon, we should pick either Stoneward, which is 20% shield of our maximum HP. It's a nice one-shot prevention. However, I pick self-employment kit. I just want to heal myself, and it also boosts your HPS meters, so people think you're actually good. Incinerator Archaeloth. Pedestal of Utter Hubris is just awesome. It increases your haste by 12% in combat, but burns you for 5% of your maximum HP while you're in combat, which is the most important, right? Bottle of Sanguine Ichor is also good. However, it only increases your damage output. However, haste also affects your healing output, so that's great. Auro's Skull Heart, since the mana increase of our Crusader's Strike, we can feel mana issues, especially if we pick Crusader's Might Talent. So we can choose Portable Feeding through. You just eat food faster, or Satchel of the Hunt. That's 30% a movement speed increased for you and for your allies near you. Executioner Baruth, I pick Overflowing Chalice always, because this way I know I will never need to worry about mana. That's just it. Champion's Brand is also fine, however it always chooses your highest stats, and your highest stat might not always be crit or haste. That's the problem. Just, you know, go with that, or if you have the highest crit or haste, pick the Champion's Brand if you're not in any mana issues. And that's it when it comes to lieutenants. I will see you guys in Paint, believe it or not. Welcome to Paint. As you see, I have written something here, so let's go over it real quickly. I divide keys into lower keys, medium to high keys, and high keys, and I think that also other people think similarly on this matter as I do. So lower keys are your 10s, 11s, 12s, and 13s. Before that, from 0 to 10, you are actually getting familiar with mechanics and important interrupts. When you are playing a 10s, you are getting familiar with your seasonal affix, which is for season 2 Tormented. You're expected to know mechanics of all bosses, all trash mobs, and all tormentors. And other than that, you want to know the most important interrupts, you know, like Inferno from Archaeloth. You want to know the Feast from Goliath, right, and so on. That's the bracket where you want to have these things sorted out. Next, we have medium keys. These are your 14s, 15s, and 16s. This is the place where you are pushing for your KSM. This is the place where you are playing for your weekly chest, and so on. And this is the place where you want to know your personal strategies. right? So in general, strategy is your answer to the problems which game presents to you, right? Let's say that we have a weekly affix of Grievous, right? Grievous is a affix which applies a debuff onto your teammates which are below 90% of their health, right? It goes up to 4 stacks, and each stack is actually healing absorption. So since we as Holy Paladins don't really do very well with healing, right? In our best interest is to remove these stacks, right? And the fastest way to remove them is to actually use Light of the Martyr. And when we remove stacks, then we use our most effective spells like Light, Word of Glory, like Holy Light, Holy Shock, and so on. That's your strategy of dealing with Grievous, right? Other than that, we don't use Light of the Martyr that much. Maybe, other than that, we can top some people on the move, but that's pretty much it when it comes to usage of Light of the Martyr. Medium to high keys are your 17s, 18s, and 19s. That's where you are expected to know some unwritten rules of M+. Interrupts, schedule, and more specific strats. In M+, interrupts schedule goes tanks first, then melee DPS, then range DPS, then healers. Other than that, you want to know more specific strats, right? Common routes, like common skip spots and so on, right? When you play these keys, you know that you want maybe to skip the first room of Blackfall. You want to skip all trash mob after third boss of Sanguine Depths and so on, right? Those are more specific strats, which you're expected to know. Other than that, we are coming to the most important thing of Holy Paladin, and that's cooldowns management. You want to have your cooldowns sorted out. As we said many times, as all people say many times, Holy Paladin is all about its cooldowns. We have Wings, Holy Avenger, Ashen Hollow, Seraphim, Bob, Sack, Devora, maybe I forgot something, Bubble, right, and so on. So as we are playing throughout the key, we are constantly cycling through our CDs as our way, to deal with certain situations, right? That's the place where you want to hop in your MDT and just go over dungeons and figure out where is the best place to use your CDs, right? Maybe you want to save sec for something, right? Maybe you want to save your pop for something else, and so on, right? Next we have the highest keys, the high keys, and your 20s, 21s, and 22s, and it can also go above that. That's a place where really the communication is the most important thing. So as Keystone level increases, right, mobs and bosses have increased HP. Their spells hurt a lot. However, the timer stays the same, and you are kinda limited with your gear, with your borrowed powers, or anything else, right? That's where the communication is the most important thing. So if something unpredictable happens, you want to have a quick way of making minor tweaks. Maybe someone body pulled, right? Now tank maybe wants to change the route, maybe he wants to skip something, right? Maybe something, some spell goes off. Maybe now you want to use your Holy Avenger, right? At a time where you didn't really want to do, and so on, right? And all of that just impacts your timer greatly. That's why you are in your voice chat, your Discord, and so on, and that's the place where you talk with your teammates how to finish the run successfully as possible. That's the point here. I hope that this classification is understandable to you, and I hope that also other people look at this the same way I do, and I'll see you guys back into the game. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you actually learned something. I hope that the video was informative. Subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing to subscribe, however it means a lot to me, and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it. Leave a comment, leave anything there. I just need some kind of feedback to actually know whether or not keep making these sort of videos. Also follow me on Twitch. I stream there 90% of the time. It's M+, either with my Holy Paladin or with my Restoration Druid. That's it. I will see you guys in the next video.